Wait a minute, ladies and gentlemen. Originally, I thought I was going to have just Yoshimatsu Matsuda, but I've got a slew of people in the background. Boy, they don't call him the Oya Bun for nothing. They don't call him the leader of the syndicate. And oh, by the way, a 16-time world champion, the current Wrestling Zero undisputed champion. And boy, do we have a lot to talk about in the world of Wrestling Zero. We've got a lot of current events. We've got some stuff in some other promotions. We've also got some business news. We've got some wrestling news. We've even got maybe some announcements related to Wrestling Zero, plus who knows, whatever else. Plus, we'll be even talking about some music, and I can assure you, as I said in my video to announce our guest, ladies and gentlemen, there's no person that drops bars like him. He's probably got more stacks than me at this point. He even quoted on his Instagram story that he has more stacks than me. Well, I'm going to give him a pass because he is the leader of a syndicate. He's an Oyabun. I'm not going to argue with that, but we're certainly going to talk about a lot of things that I think everybody's going to be wondering about, especially some usual names that get mentioned on Sportswire Radio, like who? I don't know, Ace Reed, and how about Striker? Why was that Striker name dropped from Yoshimatsu last time we saw Mr. Matsuda? And what about even a hardcore King reference? No, not that King, not him. He's a ringleader now. He's talking about something else, and we'll talk about a lot going on and what's going on with Kumi and everything else. Boy, this is going to be one I'm excited because this is going to definitely deliver for us here in prime time, the brightest lights, the biggest stage, the only platform where all wrestling matters. And I'm going to certainly give our guest that introduction that he certainly deserves here. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's get right to it and kick off the road to 1,000 subscribers in style. So with that, wait for it. Further ado, here on the Sports Report. Number one, Gable Sports Show. Oh man, that is a 16-time world champion. The man that is the leader of Wrestling Zero. The man that sits on the throne of the Australian backyard and underground wrestling circuit. He's also an accomplished rapper. Certainly in the world of drill, he drills all of his enemies. He's even got one song out there that's in the 6-figure range. He's the only person that can come on this platform that can probably drop more bars than me. He's the only person that's definitely got more stacks than me. Ladies and gentlemen, let us now introduce the reigning, defending, Wrestling Zero undisputed champion, the COO. His name is the Matsu. The champ is here.
And indeed, the Z-O-A-T.
How are you, first of all? How are you?
I have been in dire straits as of recent, but I'm trying to stay positive. I'm staying strong.
You are.
I'm doing the best I can.
Well, to quote Dire Straits, hopefully you aren't getting money for nothing. I know that's certainly the case, but that's a different show for a different time. I did try out for Who Wants to Be a Millionaire once upon a time ago, but I'm close to being a millionaire, so at this point, I shouldn't have tried out. But that's okay. Different show for a different time. But first of all, Yoshimatsuda, Mr. Yoshimatsu Matsuda, it is so good to be here, but I'm wondering, you aren't just here alone. Now, I'm wondering, did I say something on Sportswire recently, first of all, about you?
No, 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 my friend. This is the next era of Wrestling Zero and the industry.
Ooh, the industry there. The industry, the new faces of the industry. And these individuals obviously, definitely, I'm sure, know you a little bit. They know what you bring to the table, which is why they're obviously sitting near you. And it's always good to have friends. It's good to know that you have a lot more friends than I do. I really am excited about that for you.
Tom, you can count me as a friend, my.
I appreciate that. You are so kind. From one rich man to another. Certainly, we can compare bank accounts later. But let's talk about current events here first. I'm going to put up the Wrestling Zero page. We're going to say hello to everybody in a few minutes. But I want to ask you this question here. For those that are listening and watching here in prime time, the brightest lights, the biggest stage, the only platform where all wrestling matters, as we are on that road to 1,000 subscribers. I am literally just subscribers away from that. Yoshimatsu Matsuda, right now, you are temporarily the interim Wrestling Zero COO. So talk about that for the audience, and why is that now?
Well, it comes with tragic news, actually. Um, I'm only where I am right now as chief content officer, as chief operating officer, because my dear wife, Konoha Kumi, has had to step down as CEO. Um, she held the reins for so long, and abruptly, due to a certain circumstance, she's had to step back. And unfortunately, that battle has turned into cancer itself. Um, she's come down with stage 2 ovarian cancer. Unfortunately, it's something that just happens in the world. You can't change it. She's 27 years old, and it's very low chance of this happening. And she is struck so bad, but fighting so strongly about this. She is fighting as hard as she can. She's doing as best as she can. And she's named me interim leader of the company until she returns. Now, I do have good news, actually.
All
This
right,
isn't all
good. Give me some
slumber.
good news.
Kumi has gotten most of the cancer removed recently. She begins chemo in 2 weeks, and then it's the long, arduous road to recovery. We're not clear of the road yet, but she is negative for the BRCA1 gene, which means she's not going to have to worry. She is in good hands in Boston with the doctors. She is doing the best she can. Again, a long road to recovery, but she's not going to fall. I am so proud of her. We're all so proud of her. She's fought so hard, so very, very hard to stay strong. And we are doing the best we can with what we're given to stay strong for her.
Sure.
And with the way she is at the moment, so positive, so optimistic with everything that's happened, I feel like we have to do the same, and we have to fight alongside her and just do the best that we can.
27 years old. I mean, that's difficult. 27 years old, ladies and gentlemen. And to go through that, and obviously we want to give our thoughts and prayers to your wife, most importantly, if anything else. We'll certainly get into all things related to Wrestling Zero, but I mean, how are you holding up?
I mean, I'm holding up as best as I can. Kumiko and I, we trust each other, and we know each other more than anyone else could. I mean, I know what she's thinking at the moment, and I know she's watching. I know she's not going to say anything, but I know she's tuning in. And
I
my dear,
appreciate
I'm
that. We
so
do
proud of you.
appreciate people tuning in. Everybody out there, we say hello to you. Is a bunch of different
And
people on here. I mean, we appreciate that. I'm sure people will come in and out later on, but I mean, that's difficult. I mean, you're a young man yourself. She's a young woman, and that puts life into perspective. How is this going to motivate you here? Your career, we all know, is coming to an end, wrestling
Indeed.
wise, in ring, and now 6 months. As a matter of fact, it's 6 months to the day today. Well, in New York time, it's less than that technically where you are. But
Yeah.
how is that going to fuel you in the last 6 months of your in ring career?
Well, originally it was planned she was going to be right here by my side in Australia for my last run.
Right.
Um, Unfortunately, that's not happening, but
Hmm.
I can make a promise that I will be coming to Boston to see her in person. I'm going there to support her. I'm going over there to make sure that she's okay. I'm going to take some time away from my in ring career for 2 weeks to go over, be by her side, and make sure she knows that I'm there. And obviously, with it being overseas, there's a lot of mumbo jumbo that has to be taken care of. We'll get that sorted. I'll get over there. I will spend 2 weeks with her, and then I'll come back and I'll fight. I'm just going to do what I've always done: fight, defend my clan's honor, fight as hard as I can, train these boys up to be the next generation.
Sure.
That's my goal. I'm passing the torch to the entire promotion. I've done this for so long. Time for me to step back, focus on myself, focus on my life, and settle down with Kumi.
All right. Let me ask you another question on this, and we'll certainly take it to in ring, but I think it's an obligation for me to ask you at the very least with this. So, in terms of the duties now as the COO, we've got a new sponsor. We're working on some different things you're going to talk about later on in the show. We'll get into that. But as the man now that is in charge of helping grow Wrestling Zero, how are you juggling this? You're dealing with your wife now. Your wife is sick. Your wife's not here with you right now. You're dealing with that. You got, obviously, you're still in ring as an in-ring performer. You got 6 months left in that. A lot of work with there. You got also music. We're going to talk about that later. You got a new album. And now you have responsibilities to help grow Wrestling Zero. So in your duties as chief operating officer, how are you dealing with that right now?
Well, I mean, I did it for the whole of season one. That entire story was written by me. Tom Hennigan ran the company. I just worked behind the scenes. I've been in this role before. I ran VTW. I made that popular. I mean, I don't want to blow smoke up my own ass and make,
It's
sound
okay. You're on
egotistical.
Sportswire. Everybody else does it. So join everybody
Look,
else.
I'm humble. I'm honorable. I'm not like the
I
rest.
understand. I know that. You're the Shogun.
I am going to do the best I can. I'm going to just work as hard as I can. It's not about, you know, telling stories for, the world to enjoy. It's for the fans. My whole focus right now is the fans. They are what brought us here.
Absolutely.
And
I agree with you on that.
I
That I agree
need
with you on.
to be the one to tell the stories that I've wanted to tell for a long time, that the fans have wanted for a long time. And it's time that in my final run, my final, on screen work, that I give them the best product that they have ever seen out of a backyard.
Well, I definitely hope that that continues to do. We'll definitely go into that. I want to ask you one more thing on the business side before we get into the wrestling side. We have a new sponsor in Wrestling Zero, and I thought it was actually important to bring that up because you guys have something I think that's really cool for the audience. I'm actually going to pull it up on the screen so people can get a chance to see that. Also, everybody can follow you on Instagram and some other places. So let's talk about the new sponsor that you guys have in the energy brand Dubby. So let's talk about Dubby because I think some people might want to get some dubs here, and we can talk about it and how did that all come across for the audience.
Well,
I'll
W.
pull it back up. Yeah, yeah,
No, it's
right there.
okay.
Oh, sorry.
We
I
brought
was like,
W.
what did I do now? There you go. Yes.
So we contacted W a long time ago.
Okay.
Didn't hear anything back. It was actually our recommendation from BWDU management. Um,
Yes. We know who BWD management is. We'll certainly leave
and
them
we spoke to
alone.
them. They got everything sorted, and eventually Kumi got sick of just sitting on our butts with the fingers up our butts doing nothing. She pulled the finger out, metaphorical finger, and went and got us a sponsor. I don't know how she did it. I don't know what the bloody mumbo jumbo is, but she did it. She made it happen. Dubby is now an official sponsor of Wrestling Zero.
That's pretty
It
cool that you guys have a sponsor. I think that's really, really interesting. I think that's kind of cool in a sense.
it is. It's something that doesn't happen often, and the fact that we've put on a good enough product for them to notice us, and I don't know how it works. Like Kumi hasn't told me the secret. That's her. That's her magic. Um, but you basically did. I don't know what happened. They just partnered with us. All I know is that I have to keep this partnership. I have to work as hard as I can to keep the partnership. So they're going to sponsor us. They've given us a code. Use Wrestling Zero at checkout for 10% off. They've
Wow.
changed it. So instead of 20% off, it's 10%. And buy amazing flavors. Dubby's one of the fastest rising
Can
energy
we
drink
buy that in
brands.
America? Now we're in America. I'm in New York. Can we buy this and get it
Indeed,
shipped? You can.
indeed.
Good.
It's actually an American-based company.
Oh, you know what? I am such a dunce, Mr. Matsuda. That's why I'm not the man behind the Wrestling Zero.
Hey, you could do it. Maybe even we'll get you on a commentary one day.
I'm already getting asked by that all over the place, but okay, that's pretty cool. So it's an American drink, and we can go out and order it on the W website. That's pretty fascinating. And
Indeed.
we get the code from here. That's really cool. Oh, well, you know what? I might have to order it actually tomorrow, because I actually do need to do things like that. That's very fascinating. What's your favorite flavor, by the way?
You're gonna actually love this. There's a flavor called Grandpa's Denture Water.
Grandpa's denture water.
It's
Boy,
actually pretty good.
You're making me think of my uncle when he lived in Greenwich, Connecticut, which was actually right across from the Titan Towers. You would think he was super rich, but he really wasn't. He married into it. Let's just put it that way. And we were right across from the Titan Towers, literally like, I don't know, a couple, like 2 minutes by car. And what he used to do at night, he would take out like his dentures, and he had to have only been like 50 something at the time. And he took his dentures. I'm thinking of my uncle, my crazy uncle, who was a wrestling fan, by the way. Ironically enough, was a wrestling fan. But yeah, we're going to think of him right now. But he wasn't my grandpa, but he looked like one. But he took his grandpa's dentures. I don't even want to ask what that sounds like. I feel like that's a Howard Stern segment rather than the Sportswire segment. But maybe you run the Australian Howard Stern segment. I don't even know it.
This is an idea, boys. PXW show next. Grandpa's Denture Water segment. There you go.
PXW. I'll come back to that. I'm going to come back to PXW. But okay, so W, we can all check that out. You can go out there again. And so I'm going to read off the ad for us because I used to do that because I worked in a radio station for 7 months, and that's what I used to do. W is a renowned energy drink brand known for their incredible products and selection of great tasting flavors. Use the code Wrestling0 at checkout for 20% off. Moving forward, W will be listed as an official sponsor for our broadcast. You can follow Wrestling Zero at Wrestling Zero with an X, and also check out here W. W here is w.bby.gg. So that's DUBBY.gg. That's their website. So they are in the U.S. They've got a whole bunch of flavors, and it looks like here you could really enjoy them. It reminds me of here in America, Mr. Matsuda, there was a thing when I was growing up in Brooklyn. I would always buy a pack of Bazooka bubblegum. It was Bazooka bubblegum or Bubble Yum bubblegum. And it looks almost exactly like the same things, except that young lady with some some assets there. Let's put it that way. So you can check some of this stuff out there. And yes, congratulations on the sponsorship. We see from a couple of people who are tuned in here, and we definitely appreciate that. What are the other flavors? I'll read it off for you, Zilla. We've got here Grandpa's Denture Water. Grandpa's Denture Water. I don't even want to.
Don't you taste it?
I don't think I'm going to taste that. I'm not a grandpa, thank God. I hope I never really become a grandpa after reading that. Generalist Energy Blend. That's passion fruit juice sauce. Juice sauce. Boy, that reminds me of player that played in the NFL. We have here, what flavor am I? That's an interesting one. We have Dub Sludge. This really does look like bubble gum, and I think that's why we all want to go out there and support it and buy it. So really clever. Congratulations, gentlemen. I'll take this off the screen for now because I'll burst in maybe wanting a drink or two. But okay, good stuff there. Congratulations. And also, we're praying for, obviously, Kumi. We're praying for her. We want to make sure that she's hanging in there. She stays strong. Hopefully she's out there and whatever she's doing, we thank her for just obviously her support of Sportswire and helping us get on the road to 1,000 subscribers. I am telling everybody at this point, even if you subscribed and never watched the show, you've gotten me this close. So we thank Kumi. We thank Wrestling Zero. We wouldn't even be as close as we are right now if it wasn't that way. So I got that out of the way. But let's talk about some current events here. I'm going to put some matches up on the screen here shortly because it's kind of some moving and shaking parts here. It's movers and shakers almost, to kind of put the term in a better way here. So let's talk about that here. First of all, with the Syndicate, because you got a new member who's an old face, and I'm curious about that for those that are listening and watching here in prime time. What's going on here with the Syndicate? Let's start with that.
Well, we're no longer the Syndicate.
Okay.
We are now Clan Matsuda.
Ah.
We are the family. Well, it was always Clan Matsuda, but this is the new form of my clan. I am now patriarch. Being the last one left, I'm the only one left in the family. So I've rebuilt the family from the ground up.
Yep, good point. You talked
I've
about that
rebuilt it
last time on you.
with an entire team. You know, we've got Ragnar going on his own spiritual journey, doing his own thing. We've got Jay Ryan right by my side as usual. We've got the Wolf, Johnny Ryder, back home where he belongs.
That's the most fascinating part to me. Johnny Ryder is back, who you wrestled, but then he's back in the group, and he's got gold. I mean, talk about that decision.
Well, look, when Ragnar left, obviously he's on a separate brand, which means with the brand split, the tag titles can be defended across brands, but I decided that Ragnar needed to go out on his own. It was a journey that I think he needs to do on his own to prove his own strength, his own talent, his own volition. You know, he's done so much under my tutelage. It's time for him to shine on his own. But Johnny, I mean, coming back from almost a year-long injury that I didn't expect him to return from, coming in to surprise me. This was a surprise from Kumi herself. She actually contacted Johnny and told him, if you're well enough, Yoshi needs an open challenge. Tom's still injured. We need to make this happen. So main event of Thunder, we did it. Johnny and I put on a banger, absolutely tore the house down. Jay Ryan there, special guest ref. You know, some comedic moments as well. Some damaging moments. You're about to see a bit of misguided judgment on my end, thinking, oh yeah, you know, same old Johnny Ryder, or wasn't the same old Johnny Ryder. And you're about to see it in the flesh. I decided, oh yeah, let's try and push him back. No, headbutt.
Well, you know, I have a question for you. You said something interesting, and I want to talk about that, champ. He hasn't been in the ring in a year. Were you concerned about a layoff or any type of rust when you're wrestling him, even though I know you have experience with him? You want to talk about that for the audience?
Nah, I mean, Johnny Ryder didn't have any ring rust.
Still a year layoff, though. It's still a year.
Yeah. No, 100%. He had a layoff, you know, he had time off, but it felt like it was the same Johnny Ryder he was before he left. Like, he didn't have any ring rust. So he must have been training. He must have been keeping up. You know, he must have been in recovery doing his thing, but he somehow came back, put on a absolute shell shocker of a match, and left me rocked for the rest of my career. Like, that's something that I'm never going to forget. This is on par with some of the better matches of 2023, 2024. This, you know, Johnny I faced him in season 4 to win the title back. No, season 1, sorry. Concussion's still lasting a little bit.
I wasn't going to argue with you. You are, after all, now Clan Matsuda. So who am I to really argue?
I mean, feel free to argue. We're not going to do anything.
Nah, I don't really. At this point on Sportswire, I'm really trying to turn over a new leaf. But continue. You got leaves on the actual mat here, so let's continue.
But yeah, no, Johnny come back, you know, and it was something that was unexpected, and he put on a banger. And you know, talking backstage with him before we did that backstage promo after the match, it was the realization I needed that my family was back. You know, Tom's not on the same brand. Johnny was a free agent. He decided that Thunder was his home, and he's now with us. I mean, Johnny's home at the moment. hearing Ground Zero, but he's actually asleep. I'm not going to go wake him up. He's grumpy
Wait
when
a
he
minute.
wakes up.
Isn't it like afternoon your time now? He's sleeping?
Yeah, no, indeed, indeed. Johnny sleeps during the day.
You know, I actually shouldn't say anything because I do the same thing. So actually, although I barely sleep to begin with, but when I do decide to take a nap, it's usually in the late morning and in the early afternoon. So trust me, at that
Yes.
point, I
No, he's a
sympathize.
very sleepy man, and I absolutely adore him. He's one of my best friends, and I've learned from experience if you wake up Johnny Ryder while he's sleeping, things get thrown at you. So I've learned to just kind of stand back and let the man sleep. But having him home, back part of Clan Matsuda, I gave him the tag title because there was no one else left to defend it. I mean, what am I going to do? Run in with Jay Ryan, defend tag titles? I mean, I'd love to, but my focus is on training Jay up.
Right,
Johnny
right.
needs a purpose, and Johnny, obviously didn't get the better of me in this match. I owed him this title match. He never lost the title, and this was the title match that I owed him. And he came in, did his best, and he said to me backstage, I don't have a purpose. You've just beaten me. What do I do? And I said, come back with us, rejoin the faction, be part of what you were meant to be part of. And he accepted. And that backstage promo after the match is what you
I'll put
what
it
you
up.
saw.
We're gonna get to it, so we'll watch it along
Um,
with it.
and he again right here. This shows Johnny Ryder in a nutshell. First man to ever kick out of the sixth heaven.
I was gonna say because that's usually most people don't get up from that, and you were
No,
kind of like when I watched it a couple weeks ago, you looked and you were in a shock and disbelief, and maybe you're still in shock and disbelief.
I am. I am. He's proven time and time again that every time he steps in the ring, he gets better. And you can see the comedic aspect. I mean,
I did
we
see
had
that.
an
Yes, I
absolute
did.
ball. We weren't actually angry at each other. We were smiling all the way through this match. It was a beautiful sight. This is a match a, almost a year in the making. The last time we fought one on one was in season one. This was the rematch of a century. This was a match people have been asking for a long time. Johnny being in and out of injury, in and out of sickness, very much like myself. He came back, did what he said he was going to do, which was challenge for the title. And I mean, he trained. I don't know what he did, but it seemed to work. And I'm so proud of him. He's
Let,
home.
let me ask you this question. And we're here with Yoshimatsu Matsuda. He is the Wrestling Zero undisputed champion. My name is the Reverend Tom Bryce, your voice, figuratively and literally where all wrestling matters. And if you are here, please sub to our friends over at Wrestling Zero. It's wrestling_zero with an X. Let's get them to 100 subscribers. Remember when they first came in, they were 40. We're now at 91 or 92. So please support them. We've been so gracious to their support. We're praying for Kumi. We love Kumi and we're praying for her. And we want everybody to be also peace free and also obviously also peace of mind and also beat that stage 2 ovarian cancer. But let me ask you, do you feel that if you didn't have this match now with Johnny, would this match may never have happened again because you've got only a little bit of time left in your in-ring career? Was this
Oh,
something that you
100%.
wanted to do one more time before your career? Talk to me about that.
So, again, I was meant to actually face Tom Hennigan one last time
Yep,
on this
I did.
event,
I knew.
defending the title. It was meant to be the last time I ever step in the ring with my old friend. Tom's still injured, by the way. He got injured by Arashi and Nate Ryan at Revolution, and he's still not well. I don't know. I haven't heard from him. I don't know what he's doing, but hopefully he'll show up in the next episode of Stampede. I expect him to. But with no opponent, I wasn't just going to walk out there and sit in the middle of the ring for 5 hours and just scream into a microphone. I mean, it would have been entertaining, but
You
I'll
would
leave
have been
the
entertaining.
microphone with
Some
Jason.
people that come on the Sportswire, I would say, let me get back to you on that. But you, yes, you would have certainly been entertaining. And I'm not just saying because I do watch your Instagram lives. You are
Well,
entertaining.
look,
I
I'm
can't
going
say
to
that
leave the psychotic promos to Jason next. He's been running
for
rampant as of recent. I mean, he talked to a mop for 5 minutes. Um, but no, I mean, I needed an opponent. Kumiko came through, gave us an opponent. She said, surprise. She didn't say who it was. Me and Jay were wondering, like, who's going to take his place? What do you know? Theme song hits. I almost shit myself, and I'm standing in the ring, and I'm like, oh, wait, what? Johnny Ryder's here. What? No, no, no. Johnny walks out, and the first thing he does is look at me. Doesn't say a word until we get in the ring, and he's like, I told you so. And I'm like, what do you mean? And he's like, just fight me. Nothing else. Nothing else. Just fight me. So we did it. And then we got backstage, conversed, and this almost never happened. I mean, he was almost done with the company. He was injured. We thought he wasn't coming back. We thought, there was nothing from him. Apparently, Kumi somehow got in contact and made it happen. And I'm hoping he sticks around. I'm hoping he stays for good, because we've missed him. The fans have missed him. It's been a long time since he's been here, and I can't wait to see what he does as part of our faction.
How exciting is that for you to have him part of the faction?
Great. It's amazing. I'm so excited to see what happens. I'm over the moon actually, because it means that I get to do the tag run with Johnny that I never got to. I mean, at New Dawn, we were set to face off against Just Saying at the time and win the tag titles. And,
Right.
unfortunately, Johnny got injured and Unga came in and saved the day. Unga's floating around here somewhere, but I'm not going to go drag him to probably set something on fire. But Unga saved the day. And Johnny has come home. And I've given him the tag title simply because he deserves it. He was wronged. And I know it's a bit weird for him to be a tag team champion with the person that injured him, one of the people that injured him, but he has no grudges. He's seen what Jay has done. He's seen the work that Jay and the dedication Jay's put towards Clan Matsuda.
And how do you like being a tag wrestler? How are you gonna like that? I mean, you're the Oyabun, you're the leader of Clan Matsuda, you're the Shogun, you're a 16-time champion. But how are you gonna like being a tag team wrestler? And I'm curious.
I mean, I've done my tag team runs. I'm a 6-time tag team champion. I'm leaving the new era to the new boys. Johnny's one of my proteges. I don't know how many proteges I've got at this point. Like, I mean, I'm a man of many talents, but training up people seems to be one of my things.
I would love to be a protege of yours, but I think time has passed me on.
I think I need to open a dojo, just Yoshimatsu's Matsuda dojo. We'll just open one up in Japan. Get all the Japanese wrestlers to go wrestle there. But no, I'd like to do one more tag team run. The big 6-man tag reinvigorated my love for tag team wrestling. I think there's definitely a few more tag matches in the cards before I retire. I'm not going to say with who. I'm not going to say.
I always tell wrestlers, we just had a wrestler on yesterday, Ledger Shade, and he just reappeared on the company he used to work for. And like this is my policy, and I say it especially as yesterday as an example. I don't ask wrestlers when they come on here what their like plans are. You come on here as if almost like if you were an athlete, right? And somebody came on and played a game, whether it's football around the world or boxing or cricket, and it's the same mentality. We talk about what's in front of us. I don't get involved in the middle of who does this, who does that, because I believe in that honesty. And I believe that people, when they know they come here, even if they don't like somebody or they like somebody less than somebody else that comes on here, there's an honesty and an integrity. So whatever you do decide to do in these next 6 months, Mr. Matsuda, I am sure like the rest of us, I'll watch it and enjoy it, and we'll talk about it.
Indeed.
Thank you. Yes. But a heck of a match here so far. I mean, obviously, he's kind of hung in there. And, how you feeling right now in this part of the match?
Well, literally, it was just a scream of joy. This was the last moment of the match. 6-7, 1, 2, 3, and I successfully retained.
And we see
I was relieved. I was
kind of like let out a sigh of relief. You let it out there.
This was an amazing match. Johnny and I, as you can see, I'm tapping his leg to let him know he did a great job. We're talking to each other. Break kayfabe a little bit. This was literally just for shits and giggles. This was we were not serious at all. We were just
Mhm.
out there to relive an old memory. And I didn't expect him to arrive. That was not the plan, like I said. But we made do with what we had, and we did an amazing job. And you know, he's one of those competitors you don't see very often. Um, I trained him up by scratch. I whispered in his ear, "Great job, welcome home." I'm so proud of you. He has done so much for Wrestling Zero in the history. He's a former champ himself. Without him, this title wouldn't be as relevant as it is. Um, you know, he's built different, literally. He is a beast.
I can say
And
he hung in there, coming back a year and played as hard as anybody could, and went down and had an over 10-minute match with you after not being in the ring in a year. I mean, give it up for him. How about that? To be able to do something like that, that's not easy.
sorry, my assistant was distracting me there.
Ah, I see. Well, we certainly appreciate that, but I'm going to actually turn it over to you in a minute because you're going to speak shortly. And I'm going to let this play out to let you talk for a minute or two. We're going to let that come up here shortly. But yes, we are doing the arm raises here. We see there it is. And okay, we're going to wait shortly here. But if you are here, please hit the sub button for Wrestling Zero. I'm going to actually put the banner up here one more time for you. There you go. Hit that banner for us. Hit that sub button for us. Hit that follow. Mr. Matsuda's got some links up. YouTube, Threads. I'm on Threads, but I barely use Threads right now. But still, let's go back here to see what Mr. Matsuda has to say and more on Sportswire Radio, the only platform where real wrestling matters, alongside Yoshimatsu Matsuda and Clan Matsuda. It's go time.
ようこそ、上名友のたち。僕は将軍、友津の組。ブルセル、ゼロ、アンディスピューテド、チャンピオン。ブルセルゼロ、ナショナルチャンピオン。We are Clan Matsuda. Some call us the Syndicate. Some call us the most driving force in professional wrestling history. And tonight, we both retained. But with that came the addition and the return of a man we haven't seen in a very long time. I'm back. Ladies and gentlemen, it's been confirmed. Ragnar has been sent to Stampede. And I wish him well. Raise the banner of Clan Matsuda high. And fight for our honor on your own. We wish you luck, brother. Make us proud. Now that a brand split has split us apart, we have a void left open. And there's tag titles to defend. And you weren't there for that. While you injured him, you made up for it. I now name you Wrestling Zero Tag Team Champion. Ragnar, don't take this as a demotion. Take this as a promotion. You are the YouTube champion. That is what you should focus on. This is not a move of disrespect. This is a move of strength, unity, and power. While we are separated, we will continue fighting for what we stand for. And Johnny Ryder, welcome home. Your newest member of Clan Matsuda. The three of us are the definition of strength. The three of us are going to unite and reign supreme, because my throne is once again filled. As Shogun, as Oyabun, I will lead this enterprise. I will lead this team and family into a new era and a golden age of our power. Because unlike a king, unlike a hardcore king, we are united. We cannot be torn apart, not even by a shadow. And with Johnny home, this is our era. with Johnny home, this is the new clan Matsuda. Bow to the clan that rules all. Bow to the syndicate. Acknowledge the goats. Acknowledge the warlords. And in Izanagi's name, there's one more message I have for you. Striker, you're next.
Striker. You mentioned Striker. The
What, a
Striker,
false king?
a man that, like you, has something in common. He
Oh, we have nothing in
Ace
common.
Reed just like you did.
We have nothing in common. The difference between Striker and I.
Yes.
No. The only thing we have similar is that we're both part of Australian backyard wrestlers. We're both the best in the country. The difference between Striker and I.
You did both beat Ace Reed recently. That is something, a similarity.
You might want to pull full screen up. My friend wants to say something. Actually, you mentioned Ace.
Yes, sir. Oh my goodness! You son of a gun! Ace Reed.
Sportswire Radio.
Yeah, Dodge had the broadcast for a little bit.
Your Ace Reed is back. Ace Reed. You know what? I tell you what. First of all, Legend Shades on Sportswire, and then he's in TBW. All of a sudden, Ace Reed's. What else? Is somebody going to come from behind and all of a sudden jump me, beat me up? I mean, this is getting crazy. I really, what did I say? But Ace Reed. You want to speak?
Right, boys here.
You want to say something to the audience?
Look, I had to do this. It was the only opportunity for me to squeeze him in because what we have to say is involving him. And my masked friend had to stay quiet for 41 minutes so far. He was about to die under that mask.
41 years. Ace Reed, for him to stay quiet for 41 minutes? I mean, that's crazy.
Trying not to. That's why we have to go mute.
I'm not going to lie. I almost passed out of that mask. Jesus Christ.
Well, you probably won't put that mask on again, right?
God, no. God, no.
That'll be more entertaining.
Yeah.
Well, actually, I wouldn't mind it for the audience, but I would recommend not to put it on again. That's all.
I don't think I'm going to put on any masks anytime soon, to be honest.
The only mask I'm putting on is my member.
Well, that's, certainly, thank you for confirming that. But
no, he's here. He's here for a reason.
You're in clans.
I showed up, unlike a certain king.
Exactly. That's the thing. And that's what I was going to say. The difference between Striker and I is that I've beaten Ace Reed. No disrespect intended.
And I did mention it, by the way. Was I wrong, Mr. Matsuda, what I said 2 minutes ago? Was I wrong?
I mean, look, I've got other things to say on Striker. Calls himself the best in the country, yet I haven't seen any evidence of his challenge. He hasn't shown up. I've called his ass out for months, and not once has he responded since the tournament. You know what? I'm not even going to waste my time trying to face him. I did say he was next.
So why do you think that's the case, Mr. Matsuda?
No, he's scared of me.
Why do you think he's so time out. Why do you think he's scared of you? Why?
The thing is, and I don't mean to get egotistical for a minute.
No, you can. It's Sportswire. Everybody else goes egotistical.
I keep forgetting it's Sportswire. Yeah.
I know. You just had Legend Shade on here who said, blah, 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 and he showed up on his company's TV. So go ahead. But Anthony Steele was here the day before. Aaron Blaze. Go ahead. Go for it.
Hey, look. The thing is, Striker is scared of me because I've achieved more in my career than he has done in his whole life. No disrespect intended, Striker. You have dodged me for too long. There is no other assumption I can make than you are scared. There is no other assumption me and my team can make than you do not want to face me because either you think I'm irrelevant, which is clearly not the case, or you're fearful of my abilities.
Is he a coward? Is he a
No,
coward?
I don't think he's a coward at all.
No.
I think he's making the rational decision and avoiding me. This one made a very rational decision to face me. I mean,
Yep.
he's the only one to step up and pin me. One of two. One of two.
Dude.
That's one thing Stryker doesn't have.
I got that, but you said Stryker also made the rational decision in not facing you. You're saying
Yes, but this is different.
At least I had the nerve to accept his challenge.
Yeah, that's what I'm meaning. You know,
right?
Basically, he's saying that I have more balls than Stryker, pretty much.
No, I got that, which is why, to
Very
me, I still go back to it. Why is he not a coward?
Okay,
He's
now
a
I follow
coward,
you.
technically. The
Listen,
definition is.
Give me a moment.
I'm going to give you a moment, but for the audience, and I know people want to talk to you. Zilla wants to talk to you. We'll say hello to some people.
Okay.
But
My boy Zilla.
Yeah, Zilla's
Okay.
great. Zilla, I know Zilla's in his company's chats all the time because we saw each other on the one of the most recent shows. But he's a coward off those definitions. The definitions would say to me that Stryker is a coward because I agree with you. Ace has faced you a couple times. You've had that. He's with you right now. Good on both of you. But Stryker is a coward. He is systematically a coward from what you've told me. Unless I'm missing something, he's a coward.
He's not a coward because he responded. He responded. He made it known that he wants to face me. Yes, he's scared of me. Doesn't mean he's a coward. Everyone is right to fear the Shogun, the man who killed Arashi, the man who bested a god. This man, on the other hand, has seen firsthand what Arashi is capable of. That's the difference. This man has entered the realm of Kami. Stryker hasn't. He hasn't fathomed the power and abilities of these supernatural bastards. They're all gone, by the way.
I'm aware. We spoke about this in prior episodes.
I think Stryker is a man. Kind of half. 2.5 men. 1.5 men. I don't know.
1.5 men.
I think that was a show, 2.5 men. Wasn't that a show?
Pint-sized Oompa Loompa who thinks he's the king of the country when I built this industry. No offense intended.
None taken.
Well, I think I agree with you in the fact that you have been here. You have been on top. I mean, there's no question that people would still want to see you and Stryker. I mean, you've got 6 months left in your career. Isn't it now or never? Isn't it now or never?
6 months to get out of his diapers and start being a man, come to zero, face me. I don't think he's a coward, like I said. I know he's going to do it, but he needs to do it.
Do you think he wants to do it? Okay. Do you think he wants to do it? Do you think he wants to do it on his terms? He wants to dictate to you the terms.
That's it. That's it. I can vouch for what you're saying. Because
that's why Ace was the man. And why Ace? That's why I keep telling you, you could take over for me on Sportswire. I'm literally almost at 1,000 subscribers. I'm going to retire and pass the baton to you. I keep telling you that.
Is this man a strategic genius? Is this man a shogun? No. He has no concept of war. He has no concept of combat. The only thing that goes through his mind is ego. The only thing that goes through his head is that damn blue championship belt. The only thing that goes through his head is water because of his moppy hair. The difference between me and him is he wants to play this game on his terms. Well, a warlord plays games on his terms. And my terms are this. Stryker, I don't think you're a coward. I don't think you're a bitch. I don't think
say it on sports where everybody else drops the bombs. Go ahead. Go for it at this point.
You are a man who has done so many great things. But you have made the wise decision to avoid me. The difference between you and I is this. I am a strategic mastermind. We all saw the strategies that I put in place against Arashi. We saw the strategies that I put in place in the Shiga survival match against Ace Reed.
Correct.
I will make my terms clear. Stryker, you show when you grow some balls and want to step in the ring with the GOAT.
Well,
in the meantime,
you might be rocking with the GOAT. That's one of his
stay at home.
But go ahead.
Watch from the distance as I go into my last run. And if you don't show, you will have proven me right that I'm the best in Japan and the best right here. No offense intended.
Well, you know what? Let's first of all, if you were here on YouTube or
Also, I
elsewhere,
apologize for dropping that bomb right there.
no, at this point, everybody says it. It's almost like a running joke on Sportswire. So you join the rest of the usuals. But
Don't worry,
first
I
of all,
accidentally dropped an F-bomb last time I was interviewed, so
yeah, I listen everybody at this
We
point,
don't talk
whether
about
it's
the pipe
Aaron
bombs anymore.
Blaze, Anthony Steele, Omen Black, Soldier GP, the usuals on here, they all dropped the bombs. But you definitely dropped one bomb of many tonight. But first of all, before we do that, if you are here, hit the sub button for our friends over at Wrestling Zero. You got their page. They're almost at 100 subscribers. Please hit that sub button for them. I have some friends here in the chat. I want to say hello also to a special friend out there, DD, the very beautiful DD out there. Hope that you are enjoying the show, and hopefully you are also tuning in here on Sportswire Radio. Definitely you make the day a little bit better for us, so thank you so much for tuning in, and I hope that you're enjoying the conversation here. But let's get to some of the people here in the chat, and we have Ace Reed, who's here, used to be the host of the Wired Up podcast, but now is a part of Clan Matsuda. Speaking of people who was wearing... Yes.
Reed, let me correct you there.
Whoa.
He is in Clan Matsuda.
I'm just a special guest.
Oh, okay, because I thought it was Clan Matsuda.
I made that offer a long time ago. He said no.
But he joined you here just now. I was under the impression this might be something.
Oh, no, he's vibing. He's vibing.
Okay, he's vibing. Okay,
he's here to train these boys.
Well, you know what? I need a lot of training. I definitely need a lot of training, and I'm sure somebody out there, DDD, you could tell me that I need to be trained in a lot of things. But I need to be trained to plenty of things there. But hello to you out there. But I want to say hello to my buddy, Mr. Michael Christian, who Michael was wearing my Sportswire radio shirt when he was running today. He was running. This guy was running with the Sportswire shirt on. What a gentleman he is. And we love Michael. Good to see Michael. Want to say hello to my buddy Chase Wakefield. Chase Wakefield is back on the show next Sunday. He's back one day before my birthday. So Chase Wakefield's going to be basically the opening act before my birthday almost. Yeah, the opening act before my birthday almost. And whenever it's going to be like a concert. But Chase, hopefully you'll be here for my birthday also. He'll be here next Sunday. I want to say hello to my buddy Brett Anderson. Brett hasn't been here in a while. How you doing, Brett? And definitely, let's go to say some more people. Zilla, who is always here.
Zilla.
We know Zilla. By the way, did you guys see that Zilla revealed herself a couple weeks ago on Instagram? She actually is a real thing.
Saw that. I was with the live with Jack Delta and Aaron Blaze when Zilla originally sent the request.
Wait, Zilla revealed herself?
Yeah, she actually is like a real person. She's a legitimate real person. Like,
I thought it was just Tom under a mask.
This is my mask every day. I don't need to go out in a mask. Unlike what Ace did, I have a mask every day that looks like this. I don't need a mask. On Halloween, every day is Halloween for me.
Sorry, Tom. I didn't mean to offend you. My
no, it's okay. No, actually, none taken. I mean, listen, I get it all the time, but it's okay. Yes, but she really is. But the main point of it is Zilla is actually real, and I've actually offered Zilla to take over for me for Sportswire. She's real. She actually is real.
Hello. The first time when the Shogun's mind has been blown.
I think that was the most. I tell you what, Mr. Matsu. I know you've come in gifts here tonight, but I think Zilla revealing herself a few weeks ago on Instagram, I think that was the biggest shock, like in wrestling history. That was more of a shock than the finger poke of doom. That was more of a shock than Hogan turning heel. That was more of a shock than The Rock returning recently. I think that was like the biggest shock in wrestling history.
I miss this, man. This is why I want to stop making music.
Well, you're actually making money. Listen, I understand. From one businessman to another who has a large bank account, I understand. The difference is you like to make a lot more zeros than me, whereas I'm more of a charitable man. I understand. Trust me. Keep making the zeros. I get it. Trust me. Yes, we thank Ledger Shade. He was here last night, but we've got the Matsuda, who's a god. We've got a man who's killed a god. So we've got, but Ace was here. Ironically.
I mean, it's kind of just.
I still want to know how that happened. Hello there. Nice to see you. Nice to meet you. A fan, I guess, is here. I guess somebody was here. Hello, old friend. Okay, that's great. That was Ace Reed, I suppose. Maybe it was like an AI version. Were you sure this was not an AI version of Ace Reed? Because Atomic Titan's out there talking everybody still up about he's going to be an AI version. And he needed to be an AI version because he just lost on the latest TBW show. But good point. YouTube, you can do that live. Yes, hello there. Hi to the rest of the people who was with the Oyabun. Yes. I don't know why the industry is mentioned, but thank you for that. Yes, Ledger is back, and that was last night's show. We love Ledger. God bless Ledger. Yes, prayers to Mrs. Matsuda. We definitely appreciate that. We want to say never give up. To quote John Cena, keep fighting. That Cena picture. Yes, we definitely want Kumi to keep fighting. We love Kumi. Thank you, Kumi. God bless Kumi. God bless Wrestling Zero. God bless Yoshimatsu Matsuda. God bless the Oya Bun. God bless Ace Reed. I feel like I'm back when I was growing up in Brooklyn. I couldn't go to bed until I had to say my prayers. Every night, I have to say my prayers. I had a roof over my head. We had a food. We didn't have much, but I always had to make sure I said my prayers. So I feel like I did my prayer commentary there once upon a time. But crazy how he was on here last night. Well, it's how it goes in the wrestling world. Isn't that how it always ends up? Yes, congratulations on the new sponsorship. We definitely appreciate that. I think I answered the flavors. We'll put it up later. Zilla supports the clan no matter what, if heel or babyface. What is a heel or a babyface? I don't see. Ace is the only babyface because he really has a baby face. Matsuda and I are.
I don't even know what's going on with him in the ring. Like,
but I actually mean the face because his face is clean. The baby face is clean. He's clean shaven.
I just shaved a few days ago, so
I just got myself cleaned up. I don't look like a.
I don't think I qualify for that. I don't qualify for the baby face title because obviously this is pretty apparent. But let's continue here. The rest of the clan members' names. Well, I think.
Okay. Actually, this is a good opportunity to introduce our two new trainees and signees.
I think we should let them introduce themselves.
Indeed. So these are the new signings to PXW.
Oh, good.
Would you like to introduce yourselves?
Please, by all means.
Who's starting off?
I'm Rob Ryan.
Hi, Rob. Nice to meet you.
Right. Oh, they're nervous. It's okay. They're still in training at the moment.
Just tell them that this will be less. I'll tell you. I'll make your lives easier. First of all, you look at me every day. That's number one. It can't be too bad. Secondly, I'm trying for a career from stand-up comedy because I really am going to let the Ace and Zilla take over Sportswire. But the point is that if it makes you feel better. I mean, we're only on live, but that's okay. Listen, we'll move on. Thank you very much. You're obviously big men, and I'm sure you'll do a lot of ass kicking in the ring. You won't have to talk. So
when he's not looking like he wants to stab people, and he's just menacingly not saying anything in the corner.
Well, if you look like those two individuals that we see here just now, you don't really have to go talk anymore.
Jay Ryan's uncle, by the way.
Yeah, and Nate.
Well, you know what? That's a great segue because Jay Ryan, by the way, speaking of which, speaking of Jay Ryan, it's a great time to drop a bar here or two. Jay Ryan's here, 12 o'clock Tuesday, 12 p.m. afternoon, lunchtime Tuesday. Jay Ryan's here. What do you think about that, Mr. Matsuda?
It's time. It's finally time. Another Zero-Star makes an appearance. I mean, other than these boys, Solo. And no bloodline reference intended. He has done so much so far in a year. And that's enough. And who else ain't going to get the fans saying 3 simple words? K-O-D. I mean, that's the best catchphrase other than Yokuso Jomyo Tomono Tachibao to your Shogun.
I like the KOD one.
He's a genius. He's a mastermind. He is an incredible competitor. And I'm so proud of how far he's come. Jay Ryan.
We're going to talk about it. I mean, we're going to be here Tuesday afternoon. I mean, Tuesday at lunch. I mean, lunchtime. Is 12 o'clock lunchtime for you guys in Australia? Because I never have lunch. I'm usually my first. It is lunch?
Yeah.
What do you guys have for lunch in Australia normally? Because I don't usually eat till 3 o'clock in the afternoon.
Don't ask me because it's really complicated.
Okay, we'll move on.
Usually on a bento box or I'll eat sushi.
Okay, well, you know what? We'll move on and not ask for commentary. But yes, we say hello to Johnny Ryder. Zilla's saying hello to Atomic Titan, but that's yesterday's show. Yes, hi to the clan member Johnny Ryder. I support Johnny Ryder no matter if heel or face, but it's Ryder with a R-Y-D-E-R. But thank you for that. Yes, we support the clan Matsuda. We do that. Yes, very good speech by Mr. Matsuda. Mr. Matsuda always delivers on Sportswire. That's why we have him back. Let's go, Ace Reed. Yes, Ace is in the house. Who else are we missing here? Yes, Zilla now has given us Zilla picture. Zilla's real.
Zilla reveal.
Hey, there we go.
The biggest reveal in wrestling history.
Mr. Matsuda, you're always Mr. Matsuda. You always, Mr. Matsuda. I gotta pick one bone of contention with you. You're always on Instagram Live, always, right? I get the notifications. Matsuda's live. Sometimes I'm half asleep. Sometimes I'm not. I watch sometimes. But this one everybody was talking about this one, and you didn't catch it. You didn't get the notification.
No, because I will be terribly honest with you. I was in the studio, locked
Oh,
in.
okay.
I was recording a banger, and I tell you now, when you hear this album and the song that I recorded for this, the whole wrestling industry is going to be shaking in their boots.
Well, I'm already
Because
shaking in my boots. I don't have boots
EMS,
on right now.
EMS Eternal, every mark shot wasn't the first one. I made sure with EMS that my message was known to the wrestling industry, and I'm
Good.
not going to take shit. EMS was the first shot, every mark shot. Now we're aiming at every wrestler. Because I'm not going to do it in the ring. I'm going to do it at what I truly expertise at. And I'm going to watch him scramble and try and come back. You comment on my name, you get a diss track aimed. No, not a diss track. You get an armada of bars aimed at you. Because I know secrets about the industry that I'm putting on the album that they don't want you to find out. So just wait until November 18th.
Just let me know when the album comes out, and I'll buy a copy. We'll review it on Sportzwire. It's war. It is time for war, but we'll move on here. Yes, Zilla, thank you very much for the emojis here. We're going to put up the link back up here in a few minutes. Okay, so obviously Jay's going to be here. You're here right now. Ace is here. And I'm also, yes, Zilla says, Tom, babyface is a hero and heel is a villain. Yes, Zilla, I actually knew what it was, but it was kind of a joke, meaning that I don't actually have a face of a baby, because a baby face also means that you're clean shaven, just to let Zilla know.
Basically, like about 20 or 30 people were watching that stream live as soon.
Yeah, it was honestly like there were people saying, I think I was on a stream. It was funny. I was on a stream and people were telling me.
You were, yeah.
People would. I was on live. Matsuda. I went from like 10 people live to 0. It was funny.
Yeah, because everybody was focused on Zilla, and then Jack Delta was like, "Hey, let's get Thomas Bryce over here to interview Zilla."
And they were like, he's on Sportswire with somebody from XCW. Move on. Let's say no comment on that. But yeah, so that was really, but that's okay, Mr. Matsuda. But yes, Babyface is a hero. Yes, but I meant Babyface in a different way. But thank you, Zilla, for the clarification. Yeah. Zilla really should take over Sportswire. But okay, fine. I got that. I got some of that. But, you mentioned PXW before. So what's going on with PXW? Let's talk about that for a second.
Hey.
All right. Do you want to hear the big announcement?
You brought Ace here without even basically announcing that. So, at this point, I'm all game at this point.
Puro Sedu X Worldwide, you all know the history of this tarnished promotion.
Yep, we spoke about you did a bit. Now, you did an Instagram. You want to talk about dropping bars. You dropped some bars on that on Instagram about 2 months ago almost.
With Nagamasa out, with us owning the IP and every single asset that PXW has ever owned, their non-recorded shows, all of the theme music, all of the wrestlers' contracts. PXW was officially joining Wrestling Zero as the third brand. Wrestling Zero welcomes PXW, Puro Sedu X Worldwide, into our family as our developmental territory. And I can say right now that these two stars right here are the newest signings to PXW.
Whoa!
And I'm not done.
No?
The main event of the next
Should I do the announcement?
The next episode, or what's happening on that episode?
Oh, they're in huddle. They're in talks. Who knows what could happen?
The next episode will not be Stampede. We are breaking regular programming to bring you the first episode of PXW.
Oh.
It will be based in Australia. It will be pure Sedu at its finest. And my friend here, the purpose you came.
Ladies and gentlemen, the main event of PXW, it will be me versus Ultimos for the BWDU and Wrestling Zero World Championships.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Ace Reed, you show up here unannounced, and then now you're wrestling in the new version of PXW. You're putting your championship on the line. Boy, ladies and gentlemen, these past 24 hours on Sportswire, actually the past 48 hours on Sportswire have just been really topsy-turvy, to say the least. I mean, this is just definitely one I did not expect. I clearly expect nothing going on these days. I know nothing about anything. At this point, I should just be an AI version of myself. Maybe that'll actually make sure all this could make sense. But boy, PXW is back, and what a way. And that's going to be the main event. We're going to see that coming up here in the next few weeks, I believe, if I'm not mistaken.
Indeed.
Oh, boy. Wow. Oh, wow. Wow. Okay. That's definitely something I didn't expect coming there. And Ace, we're gonna see you in the ring, and that's gonna be really exciting. And you can see one of my lights just broke. Boy, that's how excited we were. But wow. Okay, that was definitely one I didn't expect. That was, you really went with a bang. There, you had it. But I mean, so let's talk about something else here. There was a video that was released. I think you might have mentioned on your Instagram page, kind of going with your history. It was very emotional. I want to go back to that for a minute for the audience. And why was that so emotional? I'm going to put that up here on the screen. Kind of goes into the story of where we're coming up here with Wrestling Zero. Let's talk about Mr. Matsuda. This story was narrated by Kumi, and just at the end of it, just talk about the emotionalness. I'm going to put this up here shortly and why it was so emotional. I think I'll put it up here now. Okay. There we go.
And I swear I shed too many tears for niggas that won't get back. Yeah, I got niggas in the graveyard, niggas in the stadiums. I switch how the day goes by. That I don't think about the times. I wish that I could rewind.
Used to sit thinking about the day we'd see the lights. Took the risk and rolled the dice. A better life in the heights. 11 eating 8-5 and rice. A life where ops would want to slice. A day where I could name my price. Deep down we still cold as ice. Deep down we said shot precise. I know we ain't seen the types that say zebras ain't losing stripes. Fake OGs be switching sides.
All right, so let's talk about it. We got new music. Let's go with it. Mr. Matsuda.
November
Yes.
18th, 2024. The wait is over. For 2 years, or a year and a half, we have waited for a long time. My fans have been at my door on social media, banging, asking for this. November 18th, 2024, mark it in your damn calendars. King of Dragon Record presents The Reclamation, my third studio album. It is time that this album represents what it is meant to. First was the declaration of me being here and rising. Then I became the Demon King of Drill. Then I became the Drill Shogun from my Drill Daimyo. And now this is me reclaiming my throne in the industry as the best Japanese drill artist and Aussie drill artist to ever do it. I wasted time reclaiming this when I could have been in the studio working hard. And now this album's going to represent me, aiming all shots at anyone who detracts me. This is me reclaiming my title. This is me stepping back up. And I'm putting my foot down and saying, I'm not done. I'm not done anytime soon.
Well, you're certainly not done by a long shot. And I do want to say hello to Atomic Titan, who encourages you and Alan Michaels to connect. He has a new single out. I'll let him know about that. Okay, so obviously I get the sense that you're using what's been going on in your mind in the wrestling world to fuel this album to be another big hit.
Indeed. It's not just, again, the reclamation isn't just going to be all negative. There's going to be positive stuff. You know, I've got a message to Kumiko on the album. I've got
nice.
She's even actually done all of her final contributions mixing wise. You know,
she's mixing the album. That's really genius.
She
what
is,
does,
as well
what
as Villa
doesn't Kumi
Kaneda.
do? What doesn't Kumi do? Is there anything that Kumi doesn't do?
I mean, other than make pretty pictures of the graphics, run our company, manage me, manage my engineering. I mean, make the theme songs for Zero with the X-World creative team. she's a man. She's a woman of many talents, and
See.
she's chosen a man who seems to not know what he's doing in life, but
Oh,
we make it work. But no, she's done a final. She's mixing about 4 or 5 of the tracks on the project, and a few of the songs that are already out are going to be on the album, like Nomin Shiga. I can definitely confirm Nomin Shigas are going to be on the album. I can confirm that EMS is going to be on the album. I can
Okay.
confirm that a few others with features are going to be on the album, but I don't want to spoil too much.
yeah, don't go into the spoiling world on the Sportswire. We really appreciate that, but all right, but there is something, you talked about the wrestling world, right? You talked about, in a sense, that you were going to be having some inspirations on the album. Now, I don't mean to poke you, Mr. Matsuda, or not. Mr. Reed is here with you. I was wondering what your gentlemen both had thoughts on this whole little thing that I'm sure you've heard of this guy by now, Copper Dragon. Right? He was actually on Sportswire last Friday. He made an appearance on Sportswire. And, obviously you gentlemen had a review and such by Mr. Dragon. And I think I'm going to put it up on the screen. I want to get both of your reactions on it because while he certainly had some praise for the match and certainly about you, Mr. Matsuda, he gave it a rather, I guess, interesting score in a sense. I mean, do you have any thoughts on that? Because I do sponsor the man, but hopefully you won't drop any bars toward Mr. Dragon because we do love Mr. Dragon.
No, not at all.
But what did you think of the score, and what did you think of what happened here in the Shiga Survival match? He loved it, but the rating wasn't quite. Well, what do you think? I don't want to go spoil it. What do
I
you guys?
absolutely adore Copper Dragon. From a king dragon to a dragon, I think he's amazing. He's the core of this industry. He rates things fairly and justly, and he gave us a fair score. I think
so you're not unhappy with the score. Let's go with
I'm
that.
not unhappy at all, and I don't think Ace is either.
No, I'm actually all right with the interview. I'm more glad that he at least enjoyed the match than the review, to be honest.
Exactly.
Okay.
And you know what? I'm glad he enjoys the product. I knew a man of his caliber and his stature. I thought he was going to be very critical, but he really enjoyed the pageantry, the storyline we're telling.
The camera work as well.
And it did need work, but hopefully if he does review the future episodes, he will like the camera work.
Definitely.
Oh, he's going to review it because he's going to watch this. He tells me all the time he watches Sportswire shows after they're on the air. So he'll hear about this. But, I think you said something interesting. You both weren't mad at the score, but you were actually, which I think actually is always his intention because he's been here a couple of times in the past, is that he's actually rating you. Not to go and compare, but the BYW hub, everybody talks about. I'll get your both thoughts on that, I suppose, in a second. But, people have thoughts on it and say different things. Anthony Arias had his opinions on it today. I don't even want to give it any relevancy because I don't know enough about wrestling to rank people. People want to rank, they're entitled to it. I think Coppers is different because he's been in our industry. He's been in both of your shoes. And he's also produced probably one of the most successful episodic wrestling companies in backyard and underground wrestling history, shows for GWC Intensity. So it means what I'm hearing from you guys that you're actually using his rating to help you guys and to improve. Is that what I'm kind of hearing in a sense?
Oh,
definitely.
100%. I take not his word as gospel, but I actually had a long DM conversation with him leading up to the review and even after.
Excellent.
He gave me some very good critiques and some very good inspirations for what will be shown in the future episodes of season 4.
Okay.
He respects my culture very much, and
he loves your culture. I mean, he pretty much said it.
He's very much respectful, and he gave me some great ideas. And I've never seen someone so passionate. And he loves.
Oh my goodness! I mean, I don't know. I mean, you know him a little bit now, but what this man does. I mean, people say, "Oh, you're on Sportswire every night. Your dedication. Look at what Copper does. This man sits there and he watches all these promotions. Every wrestler's like, you got to watch my match. You know how many people tell me he's got to review me? He sits there and he watches tape after tape after tape. And I mean, the dedication that this man has for our circuit. I call him all the time. He's the better version of Dave Meltzer. He's truly our ambassador of our community. I mean, the man is just an unbelievable man.
No one does it better like Copper Dragon.
Exactly.
Yes, that's why I sponsor him. By the way, I do sponsor the man because I know.
And I want to add.
Add
He
anything
was
you want.
very fair in his rating.
He was fair.
He
Okay, so some guys go with the score. Now you got an okay score relatively, but guys come on here. I should have got
score.
6.9. I should have got 6.4. You know, some guys get the
The number.
5.3, the 5.4s, and they feel like they should have got higher. I don't know enough about it. I look at it like this: if I got a score, I'm going to use it to improve. That's the way I would look at it. I don't,
Exactly.
you know, yeah.
And that's how we think about it. You know,
Okay.
Coppola is very clear in his assumption. And might I add, he's the only one that actually seems to understand the ongoing story in Wrestling Zero about the
Yes.
Khan and Shintoism and everything.
He was a big fan of it. He praised
Yeah,
it.
and
He said.
it doesn't like I love my fans. I love the Wrestling Zero fans, but some of them just don't seem to understand the story, and that's okay. Just enjoy it for what it is.
I mean, to be fair, when I first started watching wrestling,
You had no clue. You
I
had no clue.
But eventually, over time, I started watching it more, and I'm like,
There's
okay, now I get it.
There is Kumi is such a masterful writer. There is very, very subtle things that you need to really pay attention to for the story to really click.
You know, I'm glad you said that
know-
because I do believe that I was speaking with one wrestler today and we were talking about the story and I was talking to you about it last week and I said, what's what I enjoy about Zero is I get the different it's not just, okay, we go in the ring, we beat each other up. It's more of like, we're talking about the history. We're talking about the group. We're talking about these different subtexts that make it more than just people in a wrestling, whether it's a wrestling ring, a mat, a ground, trampoline, there's some added subliminal messages. There's some added context, which I think is why I personally enjoy the product. I mean, well, I know zero about wrestling. Get it? Wrestling Zero. I know zero about wrestling.
Yeah, and it's a shame that Wrestling Zero doesn't get as much, attention.
Look, the thing is,
Well, are we on Sportswire right now? I mean, we're on. I mean, let's.
I don't want to sound egotistical again. I
No, please do. Please do.
really
Please,
don't want
floor is
to
yours.
because it's not me.
Okay,
This
then let's
story
move
is
on.
the love and the heart and soul of a woman who's worked so hard to build this. And honestly, I was half-assing season 1, but she turned it around in season 2, and she was so subtle with the nuances and everything. Just the way that Izanagi carried himself. Literally, I was word for wording that script. I didn't know how to portray Izanagi, but she laid it out for me, and somehow we made it work. And of course, we've had some throw-ins in the way, but everything was all masterfully done to perfection. Now, I'm not asking everyone to enjoy the product. If you don't like it, you don't have to watch it. I'm not going to ask you to, go watch it, go subscribe. It's literally, I want it to be a product for the people that, and Faye's intended it for this, is for people that look deeper into things. That,
good point.
Look above the surface, look below the surface, look outside the box, think outside the box. It's so subtle that you would miss it if you didn't pay attention.
No, I think there is a complexity, but basically overall, as we're watching some of the match here, let's talk about that for a few minutes. I mean, Ace, what was it like for you wrestling a Shiga survival match? What was that like for you, more or less?
It was like, I mean, you know me, I'm used to the hardcore matches, especially with my own stipulations.
Hardcore kid, Ace Reed, you're the hardcore kid. I mean, that's your deal.
So,
I told him
Shiga Survival, it's basically kind of like a 3 stages of hell, but instead of 3, it's 4.
Four stages of hell, and
it was definitely something different. I'll definitely say that. But he won at the end of the day. He retained, and there's nothing more that I can say about it. I'm gonna take the loss like a man and just accept it.
Hey, just remember you beat me in your own match, so we're even.
Listen, wrestling, everybody's got to win and lose. But not everybody, I don't know why Goldberg's still complaining about the streak. I watch all these documentaries. Well, I shouldn't have lost. Well, hello, buddy. Everybody has to win and lose. That's just the way life is. Exactly. I mean, Goldberg's still complaining about how we lost the streak. Let's move on already. But, all right, so we're happy with it. We're going to use this going forward. I also think, let's talk about a positive. Wrestling Zero getting rated by Copper Dragon. I think that shows that Wrestling Zero does I think we'll see some more exposure. I think there are people that want to cover it. If Copper appreciates the story, I think a lot more people are going to check it out. And yes, we see that. Thank you for my plug, but I paid for the plug. But the point is that, I really appreciate that there are people that tune in, and that's why we want to also get some people to follow Mr. Matsuda here. He's got an Instagram page. You want to check it out. You got a whole bunch of stuff there. Yes, he does smoke cigarettes, and we thank that for well. And
Hey, look, it's a problem. I'll try to quit. But
no,
actually,
don't quit. Why not? Why do you have to quit?
Because I have to. I made
Oh.
Kumi a promise.
Oh, well, then I can't. I don't like to tell people they should quit, but if
He's
you
a
want to
man of
quit,
his word.
I'm a man of my word, and I never go back on it. Oh, well, go back to that photo, actually.
Which one?
That's actually quite subtle. If you guys, the other one, the red one.
I did. Yeah, I was there.
Season 1, Yoshi's coming back.
Ah.
So if you guys paid attention to the story, I'm going to break kayfabe for a moment.
Okay.
This story is not just involving, us, talking about legacy and moving forward. It's about going back to my roots towards the end. And Season 1, Yoshi's coming back. The daimyo, the angry king dragon, the gaijin Obotsu, the adopted son of a samurai clan is returning. This great shogun you know all and well now, the character's got to die sometime. And I want to end it where I began.
You do. But you got 6 months left. I mean, I don't want to say nervous you are, but starting to think about it now?
I'm realizing that time's short on this earth.
Yes, I agree with that.
And I have to make the most of it while I'm here. And now that this time is coming so quickly, I need to get up off my ass, work as hard as I can. And hell, if I end up in a wheelchair at the end of my career, you know what? I had a good run. I mean, at least I'll get free parking spaces. But the same thing. I mean, I'm gonna have fun doing it. I'm doing this my way, and it's time I start putting my foot down and saying, you know what, this is my run. I'm gonna train up Jay Ryan. I'm gonna get him ready to be the next Shogun. And I'm
excited about Jay coming here, by the way, Monday night, my time, Tuesday afternoon, your time. I'm excited about that because I'm very curious on his story. I think he's going to be an emerging talent, no question.
Indeed, and he already is. I mean, he's a multiple-time YouTube champion. He is the current national champion. He is done so much in such a short time. I mean, he had match of the year with me, most improved last year in the end year awards. I mean, he has done a lot already, and he's in the main event picture now. I couldn't have expected more from him. He has done so well.
I'll ask you this question. I'm sure I'll ask it a bunch of times. You're going to be here a bunch of more times, I'm sure, before that. But when that day comes, March 28th, do you think the next day you're going to go, oh, you know what? I want to wrestle again?
No.
Now why?
Because like I've said countless times, I'm a man of my word. I'm going
But everybody comes back in this sport. Nobody, it seems to be nobody retires permanently. You know the deal.
I mean, look, when I broke my neck and I come back from retirement in Season 1, that was because I had something to prove. I have nothing else to prove. I'm going to stick to my promise that I made at New Dawn 2023. I'm going to retire. We just extended it a little bit, but I always back up my promises. I always make sure that I stand by my word and I tell the truth. I am retiring on my own terms. I need a break. I need to step back, focus on myself, drop some new bangers on YouTube and Spotify and all that. And then, run from backstage, be the manager that I wanted to be. And I want to watch these boys grow on their own, give them the spotlight. I've been doing this for 16 years. It's time. My body's saying it's done. I broke my neck. I'm back. I've done my thing. I'm out. Yeah. Simple as that.
And let me get to a couple of people. Speaking of guys who enjoy some bangers, my buddy Comatose, who's wrestling this Monday, and he's wrestling RJ. Yes, it's going to be a really good match, and that'll be Monday, I think, my time, 6 o'clock in the evening. And Comatose just had his own video on YouTube. You know, I gotta be honest with Mr. Matsuda. I was in like 4 different YouTube chats today. I was in his chat for about 10 minutes. I was in the TBW chat. I was in somewhere else's chat. I forgot. And then I'm here live. It's just, I should just live. I think I just live on YouTube. I think literally I just live. I'm a figment of people's realities. All I do is live Mr. Matsuda on YouTube. I'm going to live on in YouTube infamy because at this point, the only place I ever am in front of is a screen. So for your DD out there, you might be watching and listening to this. The only place you'll see me is going to be on YouTube because I don't live outside. I'm not in reality because all I ever am is in people's YouTube wrestling chats, and I'm here on this platform. But yes, I digress. That's the music there, and a lot of success with it so far. You happy with the results of the single so far?
No.
Not.
47 views. I mean,
How many? 47?
could be
Well, you
better.
know what? Listen, well,
I mean, no, mind you, I dropped it with no promotion. The label was kind of like, "Oh, is this a diss track?" And I said, "It's not a diss track. It's just me sending shots." But really disappointed in how it performed. It made me realize that I'm just gonna put it on the album. That's the only way I can guarantee it to get views.
yeah, but YouTube's a weird place. Listen, some of these things you can get 40,000 views. Other times you get 50. It just, you know.
Oh yeah, well, Batty, yeah. I mean, look, I didn't expect Batty to go anywhere, and I mean, look at it now, 47K views later. And
That's why I brought up 50K. That's you had.
And I
you
mean,
had that.
I also uploaded Ghouls Feet Laszlo 1K, and that's on like 15, 16K. I mean, I'm not just some one hit wonder. I've got proof of my accolades, you know. That's why I think a mill is possible if I push. And look, this song, flop. Maybe the next one, go hard. I mean,
You know what? Listen, take it from me on YouTube. I'm a one-hit wonder. I have one big podcast with 1,400 views. I'm a one-hit wonder. I mean, but I've stayed around for almost 6 years as a one-hit wonder, so don't feel too bad.
I mean, I don't. But you're not a one hit.
Well, but you know what? I
Everyone
think the
gets
two of
viewers
us, we
every
can
day.
look at. I tell you what, the two of us can look at our bank accounts and go say, "Are we really one-hit wonders?" Probably not.
No.
Boy,
Yeah,
I think
either.
so.
He's
Yeah.
rich.
Yes, we're both rich men. But the
Oh, no,
point is,
he is now.
oh well, yeah,
Now
well,
he's getting paid per show. Jeez.
yeah, well, okay, you're gonna be richer than all of us, but I think I want to plug the YouTube page before we get to a few final words here. But let's go like this here because I lost the track. There we go. That's his YouTube channel. Go out there and hit the sub button, and trust me, it'll definitely be worth it. You got a lot of music here. You got some stuff here. The new song's got 196 views, though. That's doing better, so that'll help us here. We got certainly a couple of big hits recently still, so don't worry. The show and the album's going to do big numbers. I'm very excited about it. We're all excited. You got a lot of great music there. Please hit the sub for Yoshimatsu Matsuda. If you're out there, anybody here that's watching the show or checks us out later, go hit the sub button for our friends and support Wrestling Zero. We're here for another 15 or 20 more minutes with the legendary Yoshimatsu Matsuda and alongside Mr. Ace Reed, the host, or used to be the host of the Wired Up podcast. He's the BWDU champion, and he recently reached 1,000 subscribers on YouTube. Ace, you got any advice for me to get to 1,000 subscribers? Because I'm almost there now. You got any advice for me? Because what do I got to do? What do I got to do?
Do a backflip.
I can't do you. I think you really don't want me to. You want me to die on
Flex your money. Flex your money. You know, like I said
I've
on that
already
meme.
done that though, like
You
5
go back to
times.
Ben.
I know, but I've already done that 5 times. I think people they don't want to stay already. I don't think they really care about that. I mean, I did it
True.
5 times.
I mean, you could always. Well, what was that thing you told me, like about the Wrestling Zero channel when Kumi was sick? You said
No, upload shorts.
upload shorts.
Yeah. Somebody advised me on that. I don't have any time. I'm almost on Sportswire.
I barely have an attention span for the shorts, so.
Yeah,
not your shorts, not your
to-
shorts. Like just any Instagram shorts or whatever.
I think
reels,
I'm just
whatever
gonna
they're
get.
called.
I'm gonna just get to 1,000 in a month or two, and you both can be on, and you can roast me. How about that? Well,
You're
I'll
not
get
roasting.
there.
You'll all be there roasting everyone else.
No, I actually thought it'd be fun if people would roast me. People seem to be excited about it. I don't know why. If they were although part of me says if they were so excited, they've already got me to 1,000.
Okay, I'm writing a comedy routine then.
Oh God.
I think that would be a better way to go about things because I think that's how people will tune in. But okay, let's talk about a couple things. Enough about me. Let's talk about you guys. What can we expect coming up here in the next few weeks from you guys? You talked about the PXW announcement. Jay's here Tuesday. Is there anything else we should know about before we get ready to close the show soon? And I just want to tell me. Now, are there birds chirping? Because that kind of sounds like maybe I should move on. Okay, we'll move on here.
The world is telling us something to say.
Ah, very good there, boy. Yeah, yes. Ace Reed. Uh-oh. Yes, Mr. Matsuda. I'll put the YouTube link up if you need.
This is a decree.
Uh-oh.
From your Shogun. This world is plunged into darkness. This world is plunged into evil. This is the reason I am training up these boys. This is the reason Ace is here tonight. We're entering a new era of this industry. And it will be one where the strongest survive. As your Shogun, there are people vying for my throne. There are people vying for my title. So as of right now, anyone who is against us is an enemy of Wrestling Zero, an enemy of Clan Matsuda, an enemy of my empire. I am officially declaring the new Sengoku Jidai, the Warring States period. Anyone who dares speak on my throne and name will be considered a threat. It doesn't matter if you are ROEW. It doesn't matter if you are XCW Online. It doesn't matter if you are MXW. If you speak and threaten my clan, my promotion, my industry, you will be put down quicker than you have ever breathed a single breath at your birth. We are at war with everyone. I have respect for those who deeply understand this sport, who deeply respect this industry. But those who are in it for themselves and want my title, come and get it. Because I am declaring war on everyone else. Our allies know who they are. I don't need to disrespect anyone because they know who they are. The names I mentioned are the promotions that I have respect for. I have changed the way XCW and Online and I have interacted in the past. We have buried the hatchet. They are now allies. When it comes to anyone else, come at us with respect. Because if you don't, I will come to your promotion. I will make it my business to take your championship, and I will make it my business to add it to my wall of accolades. This is an offer. When I come to Boston at the end of the year, there's one person I want war with. You want to headline shit? Then let's headline this. Headline. You, me, Boston.
Boston. You headline. Boston. I didn't see that one coming, Mr. Matsuda.
We're
Boston.
blazing a new era.
Blazing a new era? And headline? And you're coming to Boston?
He knows who he is.
He knows who he is. Do you think I know
deeply
him?
respect you, and I want this match. Whichever promotion you compete for, please get me in contact, or even contact me personally. I need this match.
You need this match.
Because this will be the beginning of my tour to gather allies for this war.
Tour to gather allies. Boston. Headline. Uh-oh. You don't have to speak any further. I mean, Massachusetts, you're coming to Boston, and you won a match. And this will be something where people know who this person is, and there'll be a promotion to house this. Is that correct, sir?
Indeed.
and we'll have to find out more about this.
It may not be Boston. It may not be Boston. I'm just going to Boston to see my partner.
Oh.
But
Oh.
anywhere in America, wherever he is, I don't know where he is exactly.
Okay.
Not my privilege to know. I just
Well,
want
if
to
you
know
want, I could actually help you with that.
if he is willing to challenge me. I would be more than honored to create a partnership and an allyship in this war within Wrestling Zero.
Ah.
This war is in Wrestling Zero. This new Sengoku Jidai is in Wrestling Zero, and I need to gather allies to come to Australia and fight.
Yes.
Aaron Blaze.
Well, oh my
One-on-one.
God! Did you
You
time out? Did you just say Aaron Blaze?
Indeed.
The headline Aaron Blaze.
Indeed.
Aaron Blaze. The headline Aaron Blaze. The guy, the headline Aaron Blaze. The
And
man
it's
that
not just Aaron Blaze. Jack Delta, Big
Well,
Man
he's
Cam,
Big Man
anyone
Cam, yes.
who is willing to face me. I need allies. And if I beat you, I need you to join my army. I want to come to America and make this happen. Ace, no disrespect, I need to do this first. I want these people. I need to face these people because if I don't, if I can't get to America, I have failed as a shogun.
So you're coming to America and you just mentioned the name Aaron Blaze. Aaron Blaze, who's the man, the founder of YBW. He's currently the UWA Heritage Champion. He's also the man that is just been everywhere. ROEW, he's been in just all over the place. He's one of the most legendary names in backyard and underground wrestling history.
Indeed. I'm not calling these guys out of disrespect. These are men who I deeply respect. The reason I'm doing this is because I need purpose for my trip. Not only just to go see my dear wife, but
well, we
I
pray
need
for her, by the way.
to face someone higher than me. I need to face someone better
Well,
than me.
I got news for you, Mr. Matsu. You know, I think it's a good time for me to make an announcement because tomorrow night, 9:30 p.m. Eastern Time, speaking of people that I'm going to ask about you since you're coming to America, I have some guy, D'Angelo the Flame, who seems to be a pretty big traveler. And I'm going to ask him about this because you've decided you're coming to America real soon and you're looking to go to a promotion anywhere for challenges. Now, I know you mentioned Mr. Blaze. I know you just mentioned him. But I'll certainly bring up your name to Mr. LaFlame and see what he thinks. Now, Big Man Cam just won the ROEW championship. You better believe I'll mention it. But you know, Mr. Matsuda, I was wondering, I didn't know what your schedule was, but apparently, by any chance, would you be around the United States of America in the month of November? Let's say the date's November 9th and 10th by any chance.
Unfortunately, my trip coincides early December.
Well, that may still actually be in luck because I think that there's some names like Mr. Aaron Blaze and Big Man Cam that maybe they might want to, after what they've heard tonight. I'll be asking.
And again, gentlemen, I'm not doing this out of disrespect. I don't care if you hate me. I don't care if you disrespect me.
I don't think they hate you. I think they want to obviously find out more about this. I don't think they hate you. You didn't.
Deeply respect all names mentioned. I want this because I want to close that bridge for me. I want to do this for the culture as well. I want to do this for the sport. I'm not coming as an Australian. I am coming as a Japanese star.
Oh,
I want to do this for all of you. Please. I'm not even going to beg. I'm not going to ask. I'm just considering. I want to try and make this happen. I know my schedule's going to be tight. I know it's going to be hard to try and fit it in. And if it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. But I want to make this happen. We're at war here in Wrestling Zero. There are invaders coming in and out. I need... You're not an invader, by the way. You're one of us.
Special guest.
When it comes to enemies of my empire coming into Wrestling Zero and trying to stop us, I need allies. I need people to count on. And these American boys, they are crazy. They are talented. They are insane. Why do you think Ace is going to face some of them next year? Look, the thing is, I ask for a challenge. And I hope you guys will take me up on it. And if you don't, that's okay. If I can't make this happen, like I said, I will have failed. But that's okay. I just ask you consider it. All I want is to come to America and have a second purpose.
You want to come to America in the month of December. Now, I'm sure that there'll be names that I can definitely work on, and I'm sure your name can be addressed to them starting tomorrow. Tomorrow night, 9:30 p.m. Eastern Time, with D'Angelo the Flame, another traveler. You mentioned Aaron Blaze. He'll be back on Sportswire real soon. Maybe I'll even talk about Judas, the evil angel, the future and present of backyard wrestling. Some would even say, well, his coincidences of more or less of maybe in some ways coincided with not only Jack Delta being on the shelf, but Darkron on the shelf. Who knows about that name? Big Man Cam, the ROW champion, CJ Black, the good guy. I mean, I'm sure we could find some other names. I'm sure we could find plenty of them. They'll be back on Sportswire this week, as a matter of fact. I'll make sure that your name is mentioned. I'll make sure that certainly everybody else will know about it, because now Yoshimatsu, you are doing this for the culture. You are doing this for the sport. You are doing this for the community, because now we're going to see somebody abroad, Japanese, you might want to say, let alone Australian, coming to America and putting up what he's done in our circuit for our sport against some of the very best here in the backyard in the underground wrestling circuit. And we're just a few short months away from that. And I think that's the bombshell that is going to rock already the backyard wrestling and underground wrestling circuit as if it's not been rocked enough, especially after the last 24 hours. So I think that, ladies and gentlemen, what's that? Yes, sir.
I said I intend to make this promise happen.
If
we can't work anything out, it happens. But
it'll happen. It'll happen.
It'll happen. And it's all about logistics. It's all about flights. It's all about everything working out. I could be tied up with Kumiko. I'm not trying to sound like, I'm making false claims, blah, blah, blah. I want to make this fully clear. I may be tied up with Kumiko when I get to Boston. But if I've got time, if I've got a slither of time, I want to face one of them just to see if I can build allies in America for what's coming in Zero.
Oh, I'm sure that you can build some allies, because last I checked, Boston ain't too far away from Ohio. Boston ain't too far away from Michigan. Boston ain't too far away from a number of these different places that these individuals call home for. So I'll tell you what, ladies and gentlemen, I'll definitely be watching that with certainly a vested interest. And before we certainly close the show out here, you want to go follow Wrestling Zero. There's that link. You can find out why Yoshimatsu Matsuda is one of the greatest of all time, why he is a 16-time champion, a 6-time tag champion, and why he is now the COO of Wrestling Zero, and why PXW is in the next under the pike, and why you're going to be seeing him everywhere and anywhere. And
boys, let Tom see us all.
Closing thoughts, gentlemen. Closing thoughts. What do you got for me? Closing thoughts.
You'll see these two very soon.
Very soon, yeah.
You will see him very soon.
Oh, I see him all the time. He's in my chat. Well, I'll see you there too. I'll see you there.
And if I can make this happen, I'll see some of you when I get to America.
Well, tomorrow night, 9:30 p.m. Eastern Time, D'Angelo the Flame, I'll ask him very much this same question. Because now I'm going to ask him that. And I'm going to ask a lot of people this question, because this is certainly something that I didn't see coming. And this was certainly one night for the ages. And we certainly, I know, want to make sure everybody follows Yoshimatsu Matsuda. You can follow him on Instagram. You can check out what he has to offer. He's also on Threads, YouTube, Wrestling Zero, all of their information. Please go out there and support them. It's about all wrestling matters here, and Wrestling Zero is on that road to 100 subscribers and more. So let's get them a little closer. I definitely want to thank them. This was certainly a rather eventful night, to say the least. And gentlemen, looking forward to what's ahead. And thank you as always. And Mr. Matsuda, hope to meet you in America then. I hope to meet you. I'm in New York. I hope to meet you then in December.
Well, I'll be in Philly. So I'm going from Boston to Philly. So, I mean, if we cross paths, we cross paths. I mean, it could be a moment for history.
It could be. Aaron Blaze, by the way, he don't live too far from Philly.
Well, looks like there might be a link up happening.
Aaron Blaze don't live too far from Philly. Aaron Blaze. That's the name I'm going to be keeping the most interest on. Aaron Blaze, who don't live too far from Philly. Boy, that's the one in December. Maybe you could squeeze a match in with him. Might be able to do that. Oh, I think that we can certainly, let's play, make a deal. Because Aaron Blaze, he's certainly a man that blazes his own trail. And this is going to be one for the ages. But until then, please support Wrestling Zero on all those platforms. I want to thank everybody here for tuning in. My name is the Reverend Tom Bryce, your voice figuratively and literally where all wrestling matters. If you're on Sportswire Radio, I'm here at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Time with more from D'Angelo the Flame, who returns to Sportswire Radio for the first time officially in 4 months. And this is the Oyabun. This is the Shogun. There are some of the clan Matsuda. There's Ace Reed, who's not with the clan, but he'll be in the ring for PXW soon. Also, BWDU, who just passed 1,000 subscribers a few months back. They're on that road. And yes, we support everybody, and we do it because we want to acknowledge and bow down to the clan Matsuda. Thank you, everybody. My name is the Reverend Tom Bryce, your voice, figuratively and literally, with all wrestling matters. We bow down to Matsuda. We bow down to everybody here and DD and everyone else. And thank you so much for tuning in. And good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are on the number one global radio station that is Sportswire Radio, where all wrestling matters.